Well, Mayor, thank you for taking the time.
Great to be with you.
The year has gone by pretty quickly.
It has.
What's it been? I can't believe January 2nd is just around the corner here. I mean, what's the first year been like?
It has been an amazing year. It has certainly been challenging, but it has also been incredibly rewarding to see the progress that we've been able to make in putting a new administration together. I'm really proud of the team that we have, both new people and existing folks in Metro government, and I'm really proud of the progress that we've made. I feel like we have reset the tone of the city, and where I go all across the whole city to feel the excitement about where we are now and even more so about where we're headed is incredibly rewarding. And we have planted some pretty impactful seeds this year that are going to sprout in the future, and people are going to start seeing new libraries open, parks being redeveloped, new housing projects that are opening up where more people can live affordably, new things happening downtown and all across this whole city. So I'm really excited about 2024 and beyond.
Biggest success, biggest regret for you, first year?
Well, I would say our biggest success is in resetting the tone and forming collaborative relationships with our partners on Metro Council, at the state with the General Assembly, and strong partnership with Governor Beshear's administration. If we're going to do transformative things in our city, we need to be working in partnership all together. And that's what we are doing now when it comes to public safety, when it comes to building more affordable housing, when it comes to investing in our parks and our libraries and our infrastructures, creating new good-paying career path jobs. All of those things take partnership, and we need to work together with all levels of government, with the private sector, with the nonprofit community, and I feel like we have accomplished that and really set the stage for great work in the future. I would say that my biggest frustration probably is in the area of guns. We can and we must do more in our city to reduce the amount of gun violence that's plaguing our city. We've done a lot this year as an administration, but our city's hands are tied by state and federal laws that will not let us do more. And that's why you'll see me in Frankfort next year. You'll see me continue to advocate for more local autonomy so that Louisville can take action to do more to reduce the amount of gun violence in our city.
You said you're going to be in Frankfort. Do you have a date
Absolutely.
set or a committee set or something?
Well, I've been talking a lot to leadership of the General Assembly in the state, in the Senate and the House. Certainly work very closely with Governor Beshear and his administration. I've had conversations for many months with local legislative leaders that represent Jefferson County, that have leadership positions in the Senate and the House. So we're well prepared for the session, and you'll be seeing me definitely down in Frankfort in early January working with legislative leaders on passing bills that make our city safer, that help us build more affordable housing, that give us one-time money to invest in infrastructure, to spur economic development. And we're really working with the state to try to make universal pre-K a reality. Those are our focus areas for this session.
I noticed at the governor's inauguration, you were talking with Senate President Stiver, sitting
Yes.
near him, talking quite a bit. You were on the same panel as House Speaker David Osborne recently as well. Specifically, what kind of conversations have you had with them? And I want to ask, when it comes to giving Louisville more local autonomy when it comes to gun laws, has that come up in conversation? What have they said to you about that?
Yeah, I really am optimistic about the session, the General Assembly session, because of the conversations that I've had with President Stiver, Speaker Osborne, Senator Rocky Adams, Representative Nemes, and many others. We are talking about what we can do to partner to make impactful investments in Louisville, to economic development, improve our economic development, to make our city safer, to build more affordable housing, work on towards universal pre-K. All of those are things that we have spoken about. We've also, when it comes to safety, I certainly have not been quiet publicly or privately about our request to give Louisville more local autonomy. I'm hopeful that we'll at least take one step forward with respect to giving cities like Louisville the ability to destroy weapons that have been confiscated and taken off the street, that have already been used to commit violent crimes, so that those weapons can never be used again. I'm advocating for more, and so I'm hopeful that the state will do even more so that individuals who are convicted felons or dealing with mental health emergencies, people who shouldn't have guns that because they're using them for the wrong reasons, don't have guns. Those conversations continue.
Has the GOP leadership told you that they'd consider giving Louisville that kind of autonomy?
I am more optimistic about some of the other areas of our legislative agenda, but we're going to continue to advocate to give Louisville local autonomy.
So what hope does the city have that that's even a possibility if the GOP is steadfast that that's probably not going to be something they do?
Well, I think it's important that we focus on the areas where there's agreement, so we make impactful investments in our city, and that we do things that we can where there is agreement. And if there are areas that we disagree, that's okay. Let's try to make incremental improvement there. And so right now, I'm going to continue to push, and hopefully the GOP leadership will start taking some steps that make our city safer, and we can continue to build on those. And the public, I think, their attitudes towards guns, at least in Louisville, are certainly changing, and hopefully that will over time have an impact.
I know when it comes to universal pre-K, that's an example of something you want to do where, you're talking about state funding being needed in order to make that happen. Your strategy as mayor in the first year has, and correct me if I'm wrong, in certain cases has been start initiatives, announce initiatives, get a group together, and maybe worry about some of the state funding, hopeful later on. Walk me through that strategy as a mayor.
There's no time to spare. We need to make impactful change in our city immediately, and so that's what we're doing. When it comes to Early Learning Action Group, we convened a group of experts, 23 individuals from across the city and state that understand that research is clear. When kids start their education earlier, they will lead safer lives, healthier lives. They'll have more opportunities to success. And that's why we want to make universal pre-K a reality. At the same time, it's also helpful for working parents so that they can re-enter the workforce and help continue to grow our economy and continue to earn even more money for their family and to provide a foundation for their kids and their family to succeed. And so, yes, we're working on a plan. That's one of the things I'm most excited about in 2024. Is early in January, we will launch our plan. We will unveil our plan of what it will take to make universal pre-K a reality for all 3- and 4-year-olds. In the meantime, we're supporting the governor's plan to make universal pre-K a reality for 4-year-olds across the entire state. And we're looking to take steps not just with the state, but also with local and national philanthropic organizations, with local child care and early childhood education providers, with anyone who wants to be a part of the solution. There is an opportunity to participate in this plan.
You have estimated that on a Louisville level, universal pre-K, initially to get it going, a pilot program could cost anywhere for about $20 million a year for 2 years in from state dollars perspective.
Right, that is simply a pilot program. It's going to cost a lot more than that.
Sure. And I know the governor has estimated as well. Are you confident the state will provide that $20 million for the next couple of years?
I am optimistic because state leaders see the same research that I do, and they see that early childhood education is great for kids, and it's also great for their parents. It helps them re-enter the workforce. It helps them participate in our growing economy, while at the same time providing an early education, which is such a key determining factor in the future of our kids' lives. And so
has the GOP leadership given you any indication that that might be something they'd consider?
I am very optimistic. I know that there are key GOP leaders that support expanding early childhood education in Louisville and across the state. So I'm optimistic.
Gotcha. I want to go through a couple different topics here. Obviously, former officer, Detective Brett Hankison's mistrial was big news here in Louisville. We live in a city that still feels, to some degree, some parts of the community, that there still hasn't been justice for Breonna Taylor, and this mistrial just adds to the frustration for some of them. Currently, is police transparency where you'd like it to be in your administration right now?
We are making significant improvements so that LMPD is a more transparent organization. We've taken 2 big steps forward this year. One involves officer-involved shootings. When there is an officer-involved shooting, we are now releasing the body cam footage within 10 days. Tomorrow, there'll be a press conference that the chief and others with LMPD have releasing footage from 2 recent officer-involved shootings. We've also made a significant step forward when it comes to responding to open records requests. We are getting more and more requests for body cam video, for information, for files than ever before in our history.
And there are still backlogs.
And there is still a backlog. And so this year in the budget that was unanimously passed by Metro Council, we added 5 new positions to our open records department. We're consolidating our LMPD open records and the rest of Metro government's open records department so that we can do a better and quicker job of responding to inquiries from the media, from the public, from others that have the right to know. We are committed to transparency. The chief is committed to transparency. That's a big part of rebuilding the trust throughout the entire community, and that's what the chief and I are committed to.
Transparency obviously is a very general term. It comes in different facets, comes in different ways. Obviously, body cam release quicker is one element of it. Open records is another element of it. There has been frustrations among certain groups of the community and say even the news media from what we've seen in some of the articles. The timing of some of not just your press conferences, not just the timing of your news availabilities, but specifically LMPDs at times holding press conferences a day before Thanksgiving, a day before people travel for Christmas. Are these plans specifically to try to bury some of these leads per se?
No, they're not. The chief and I are incredibly accessible and will continue to be incredibly accessible. I welcome conversations like this where no questions are off limits. I'm happy to answer any questions at any time as the chief. We can't control when officer-involved shootings happen. I hope they never happen ever again. But we have committed to the public that we will release them within the body cam footage within 10 days of those incidents occurring. And so we are trying to be proactive and to get that footage out. We will continue to be proactive and get it out whenever those unfortunate incidents happen.
When it comes to the mass shooting, the report that came out of that, did the chief alert you that 4 o'clock on the Tuesday before people travel out for Thanksgiving was the time that they had in mind, and did you agree with it?
Ask that question again.
When the investigative report regarding the mass shooting came down, I believe it was 4 p.m. on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, before close of business, before naturally a lot of folks travel
you're talking about
out.
with respect to the Old National Bank shooting?
Yes. My apologies. Yes,
Yeah.
The Old National Bank shooting, when that report came down, did the chief let you know that that was their time frame? And was there any, for you, pushback on that kind of time frame where, honestly, a lot of the reporters might be off, might be, taking on Thanksgiving vacation, whatever it may be?
We are focused on getting the information out quickly. That was to resolve that case, to do the investigation. There was also a lot of conversations that we wanted to notify the victims of that mass shooting as well. And then once we had completed all of the steps that were necessary, that's when it happened. And we wanted to get it out as soon as possible. Did
you find any issues with that timing, though?
Well, no,
as a human being, just from a thought process, like why that time? Why that week?
Because if we don't get it out as soon as we're ready, then we'll be criticized for holding back information. If the media wants to report on what happened in April and November, they can choose to wait till next week. That's okay. There's a lot of information in the report that we released about that. We're willing to continue to talk about that. We're trying to get information out as soon as possible. That's why we're having, the chief's having an announcement tomorrow, releasing 2 officer-involved shooting video cameras, because those happened recently and we want to get that information out before the holidays. Otherwise, there'll be other of your colleagues that probably criticize us for sitting on information. So for some, it might be a no-win. We are focused on transparency. We're focused on getting information out quickly. And if people have complaints about that, I understand.
A few more topics here. Could I get 3?
Let's go. Yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
Slushygate, I have to ask about that. Are you concerned that an event like Slushygate, as they're calling it, hurts trust, despite it being before your administration?
Yeah, sure. That is an unacceptable set of incidents that happened years ago before the chief was chief, or even on LMPD, and before I was mayor. Since that time, a lot has changed and will continue to change. As you know, several of the officers involved were federally indicted or serving time in prison. Many others have left the force, and others have been disciplined by this current chief. We are focused on improving the culture of LMPD, where we proactively work with community, where we build trust with the community, and we want to have an LMPD that everyone trusts and respects. And so we are focused on a very different way of training. We've improved focus on supervision. Incidents like that will not be tolerated by Chief Gwynn Biller-Roel or myself.
The DOJ report, I assume you still haven't gotten a first draft of the consent
yeah.
decree. Does it surprise you it's taken so long? I've heard from sources that it's taking longer than they expected to.
It's taking longer than I expected. We were never given a deadline as to when we would get a first draft of,
And you still
of the
haven't.
report. We have not gotten it. We will let you know when we do. We've asked questions, when is it coming? And we haven't gotten guidance on when we can expect the first draft yet either.
The chief has called at times some of the findings allegations, whether that be a legal term or not. You have said the findings will be used as a blueprint. Are you guys on the same page?
Yes, we're on the same page. We accept those findings, and we are now focused on moving forward. And we're not waiting for the draft of the consent decree to come to us or the consent decree to be signed. We're already taking action. We have made tremendous strides in improving training, changing our approach to recruiting. As I've mentioned, the officer-involved shooting policy has changed to get that information out quicker. We are taking action now to make LMPD the most trusted, trained, and transparent police department in America. That is our goal. That is what the chief and I are working towards every day.
Last two topics. Camp clearings. There has been some talk out in the community that it's ramped up under your administration. Can you explain why, and specifically if you can address the term relocation? Where are they being relocated to?
We are very focused on ensuring that our public sidewalks, our public parks, our underpasses are safe and healthy for everyone. That is our focus. Camps are not safe for individuals, homeless individuals who are living in them. We've just recently had a fire inside a tent where a homeless person died. Others have been injured. There have been assaults that take place inside these camps. They are not safe or healthy places for individuals who are homeless, and they're also not safe and healthy for everyone else who is trying to use the sidewalk, get from point A to point B, who's trying to enjoy public park space or other areas that are not safe and healthy locations for people to live outdoors. In the same time, we are focused on investing more money than ever before in services and shelter for those who are in need, who are homeless, who are at risk of being homeless. We're investing in the community care campus. We're working to build more affordable housing, which is the ultimate solution across our entire city. We've just hired a new director of the Louisville Metro Housing Authority who's going to be focused on improving the quality of housing and building more public housing for individuals. We have opioid settlement monies that are going to treat the addiction that is causing so many people to end up on the streets. We're working to invest more in mental health care, which again is the cause of why so many people are homeless in our city and elsewhere around the country. So we are really focused on this issue for individuals who are homeless, as well as the safety and health of our entire community.
Last question. One park development. Obviously, it's got a provision in there where a portion of it, I think it's 7%, will be affordable housing. Is this kind of development, is this a blueprint that you see as being the way forward?
I think developments that include people of various income levels living together is great. We do not want to concentrate poverty. We want there to be affordable housing units across the entire city, in every neighborhood, not just in other people's neighborhoods. We want there to be affordable apartments. We want there to be affordable for-sale housing in every neighborhood. And so I strongly support this project, which will have 10% affordable housing in the first phase, 5% in the other phase, as I understand the agreement that was ultimately reached between our administration and Metro Council. And it is a great example of the type of project that we hope happens all across our city.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I'm so excited about 2024. In January, we're going to announce our universal pre-K plan. We're going to be working very closely with legislative leaders on impactful, transformative changes for investment in our city. And people across the city are going to start to see the seeds that have been planted this year sprout up with new projects and great progress that's happening to really move our city in a new direction over the coming years. So I'm very excited about next year and beyond.
Thank you for your time, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Isaiah.